We are so close to the scariest, most dystopian system. This is what the drive to build all these thousands of data centers is about, to micromanage the world's population through the new financial world order. AI is really about that. We're heading towards digital control systems where we have no more control over our liquid assets. It will be programmable, permission-based, so only what the central planners allow you to use your money for, at what time and place and location will be permitted. And if you're in the wrong place, it's not going to work. And if you're buying the wrong book, it's not going to work. Your money won't work outside a certain zone, whether it's 15-minute prison zone or whatever it may be. It is the totalitarian dictator's dream come true.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better.
Okay.
What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I think that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen.
In other words, these are things that are going to happen. We're going to make sure that they happen. There will be fewer and fewer jobs robots can't do better, is what they're saying. More efficiently. Robots don't get tired. They don't got to take breaks. Robots don't get sick. They don't have to go to sleep. They can perform 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When we say transfer of wealth, this is what we mean. The wealth is taken from the everyday working people, and the rich become ultra rich. They want to control everything through AI. That's what it's here for. And also, they're not mentioning this part, and I'm going to just mention this, then we're going to let them continue talking. They think that when the Messiah Yahusha comes back, they think they will have enough robots and enough computing power to take him down. That's what they think. While they're underground hiding from judgment, they think the robots will be able to challenge him, which we know that's not going to happen. That's really what it's about. Nobody talking about that part, though. That's just something that I know. When Yahusha comes with the tenfold angels, right, they think they'll have a good chance of winning. These folks are that crazy.
And if my assessment is correct, and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary. Now, the output of goods and services will be extremely high. So with automation, there will come abundance. There will be almost everything will get very cheap. I think the biggest. I think we'll just end up doing a universal basic income.
Did I stutter? As soon as he said everything will be cheap, not true. Everything will be extremely high. Hyperinflation is coming. People are saying deflation. Things will just get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That's not accurate. That's not the signs of the times, brother. And you know that. That's why he's stuttering. He's trying to make it sound good. He's very precise with what he says.
It's going to be necessary. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning? Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment. So if you don't have, if you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor, how do you, what's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless? That's a much harder problem to deal with.
Bounced over that question and changed it to something else, trying to implant an idea in people's minds, but still telling you they believe all jobs will be taken and people will be useless, or they won't have worth. They won't have value because they will have no job to tie it to. That's what he's trying to say. Purpose. What will be your purpose to serve the Most High? If you don't have to work, you have more time for that. But of course, these people, they serve Azazel or Hasatan, the devil himself, right? Now check this man out. Man, whatever we want to call this entity, check this entity out. This entity is way more evil than Elon. You might have thought what Elon just said was something. This entity right here.
We are probably one of the last generations of Homo sapiens, because in the coming generations, we will learn how to engineer bodies and brains and minds. Now, how exactly will the...
Did you just hear him? So they trying to play as if they the Most High. I'm going to use this word. I don't like using this word, but they want to be God. You know, to themselves, they are gods. They want to play God on earth. You know, right now, the God of this earth is the devil. And this is why we're seeing these things right here. The Most High gave power to them, or a certain amount of time for them to do these things. And they're just playing into prophecy. That's all it is. Little do they know, or maybe they do know.
Now, how exactly will the future masters of the planet look like? This will be decided by the people who own the data. Now, why is data so important? It's important because we've reached the point when we can hack not just computers, we can hack human beings and other organisms. Now, what do you need in order to hack a human being? You need two things. You need a lot of computing power, and you need a lot of data, especially biometric data. But control of data might enable human elites to do something even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself.
Build digital dictatorships. That's the plan. And hack human beings. They said during COVID, they said what COVID was about. He said it himself. COVID was about, for one, they altered people's DNA, so their DNA is not the same. When they inserted that jab, which contained luciferase. Listen to how that sounds, luciferase. It contained that in the jab, right? What they were able to accomplish was, basically they are able to take over people's bodies. Let me put it in simple terms. When they want to, they can start hacking humans. It was a technology. That's what they did. For everybody that didn't pass away, a lot of them passed away. If you didn't pass away, then you think you're good. Sorry to tell you, but you're not good. This is what they did to you. This is why when you go out in public, you like, these people weird. They like, what happened to people? They're not the same as they were. You know, some people who had it all together, they were of sound mind. Now they just, you could tell like this is not the same person.
Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. All of life, for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds. The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution.
We don't believe in all of that he's saying, of course, dinosaurs either. But you see how they're specifically naming these things. He said, not some God above the clouds. Theirs are called clouds. But you don't look at it like that, do you? It's all playing into their plan to have you in the cloud.
And at the same time, science may enable life after being confined for 4 billion years to the limited realm of organic compounds. Science may enable life to break out into the inorganic realm.
Inorganic realm.
Clones. Right now, they're even telling you that when you die, they can download your brain. You should put a neural link in your brain so that they can like save your brain, so that if you die, they will produce another body and you can inhabit that body and live forever. So they are promising you eternal life, and it's a deception. Because yes, you die and go to hell. They will.
Exactly, and the only one that can give you eternal life after resurrection is who? The Most High. So they're trying to say that they can give everlasting life. Meanwhile, they perishing. Their technology must not be working. Queen Elizabeth, she got up out of here. The last pope, he gone.
But what is going to live inside you is a familiar spirit, a demonic spirit. That's why you see some of these Hollywood stars that, you know, they were good and everything, and then something happened. Or you see Beyonce will have some movie of her crashing in a car and burning, and then Sasha Fierce comes out. They're showing you these things. It's just that some human mind cannot comprehend it except you get revelation. So what happens right now, whether it's, you know, toy, you know, everything AI, everything, people are so happy about it. Yuval Noah says AI is alien intelligence. It's an alien entity. He actually puts it this way, that, you know, you could use a knife. A human being will use a knife. But what if alien is like creating a knife that can decide whether to kill somebody or to cook. And the knife can create other knives that can decide what they need to do. So what they are bringing together is alien technology. This is demonic. This is not some of this stuff that we're seeing, thinking that it's just technology, is deeper than technology. In the book of Genesis, the sons of God came and slept with the daughters of men, and they produced hybrids and tried to corrupt the whole world. Only Noah was found righteous, and God saved Noah.
Right, she's speaking on the Nephilim. She's speaking on the Nephilim and the Great Flood. The flood that Noah survived, right? The one he was building his ark for. All right, let's keep it going.
In this time, the devil is on the same agenda. They want to corrupt all of humanity. But this time, there's not sons of God coming to sleep with daughters of men. It's science and technology, or packaged. Sons of God are now packaged like science and technology. The Nephilims of today look like you and I. You understand what I'm saying? They don't look like 30-foot giants. So now they still want to corrupt all of humanity.
And think about that, right? So back then they were sleeping with the Nephilim. Those demons. This time, people going to be sleeping with the robot demons. They're making it to where you got, robots.
And what would God have to do this time around? Since we're so many, he's not going to put us in a boat. He's going to take the church out. Revelation 14:14 is when the rapture happens.
So you're saying the Nephilim of today are robot human hybrids?
They look like you and I. The Lord showed me this in 2011. We did a 100-day prayer, and God showed me this. And that is how I started fighting this battle. And, they look like you and I. And I saw it in the spirit, but it's everywhere. So they practically have robots on the streets right now going and passing the human test. And people think it's so cool, it's a robot. Okay, I'm going to have my own robot girlfriend. In fact, Elon Musk is saying that, you should have a robot butler, a robot everything. Why? Image of the beast giving breath. And guess what? It is those robot things we bring in our houses. Revelation 13 verse 15. They will cause as many as will not worship the image of the beast to be killed.
Yup. And that's what I'm prepared for. Honestly. This is deep. Now, their version of giving breath is birthing these robots. Because Hasatan, the devil, he can't create life for real. He can't create anything. He can only recreate what was already created. Right? He can emulate the Most High. That's all he can do. He can try to be like him, but he can't be like him. So this is why they're doing it in their own way. This is the only way they can do it. They already got artificial wombs. So that's them creating breath, the breath of life. That's the breath of life to them, or Hasatan. Him and his minions, let's word it like that. Him and his workers of iniquity.
That is the end time army of the devil. And it says that he causes all, both great, small, rich, poor, to take a mark. And then without that mark, you will not be able to buy or sell. So this is going to be a currency. So in those days, we could not understand it. But right now, it is set in a way that by the time they launch, you will not be able to buy or sell. You can't go to the store and use money. Do you know what I'm saying? So we have to be prepared, because think about it. How many people are going to watch their 4-year-old starve to death? A lot of people run and go take the mark.
Of course.
Elon Musk talks about, universal high income. So the robots are going to take all jobs. People, you have to AI proof your life. That's one of the things we do right now. Tell people to AI proof your life, learn how to farm, learn how to, because if you don't AI proof your life, before the Lord Jesus comes for us, how are you going to survive in this interim? Many people would submit. Many people would be captured because they don't have any way of survival. So if we know these things, then we set up our lives to survive. Learn how to farm, stock up food, make sure that you have water, you learn solar, little things. You understand what I'm saying? Start having, I tell people, have at least 5 side hustles. Because how are you going to AI proof your life?
Yeah, I got this same understanding. That's why I shared that here on this channel with you guys. Other than the name she used, but she's speaking the same message, so we're not going to debate over that right now. We're not going to debate over doctrine right now. The message still stands. That's why I'm inserting her clips. Shout out to her for breaking this down in a way that's understood by the masses, or by those that need to hear it. That's enough information for this one video, I'm thinking. That's enough information. With that said, y'all, share this video out, hype it up for me. Hey, I'm putting my channel at risk putting these messages out, but I don't care. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, it's your brother YT. Peace to my Hebrew fam. Shalom. I'll catch y'all on the next one.